By listening to the following, you are acknowledging that the comments, opinions, and analyses expressed by TopeTalk LLC, its representatives, or any other contributor are for informational purposes only and should not be considered individual investment or legal advice or recommendations to make an investment or adopt any investment strategy. You should be aware of the real risk of loss when buying and selling any assets, including but not limited to NFTs, tokens, or securities. Always conduct your own research and strongly consider seeking the advice of a financial or legal expert. And now, here's Crypto Chris G with TopeTalk.
What up, what up, what up? We're going to do it without music this time. Phone's, Samsung was acting weird when I was trying to get this thing set up. I know John was having issues with it too. I think his phone was, his phone's like down bad from what I hear. He's got that new iPhone and apparently he has to go get a new one because there's like issues with it. So feel bad for him having to go through all that again. What's going on, Walker? How you doing, bro?
Bro, it's probably them Ghost. What's up, Captain Z? This guy's a freaking legend.
Yeah, always here, bro.
Captain Z's gonna love the render engine.
Yep. Well, we can't talk about that yet, right? So
no, but she'll be here soon, very soon.
Like you said, she. Yeah, no, let's just run a nice little short one today. My family just stopped by my place. My mom, my stepdad, and my aunt and her boyfriend are going to the Lightning game. It's a good time of the year because tickets are super cheap. You can get at the nosebleeds for like $25. Not sure where they're sitting, but I'm sure they're gonna have a blast. So they just left to walk over to the stadium. But yeah, so before we hop into everything, what a nice little rally we've had in the last week here. It's good to see some of the level, steadying at this level. I'm sure we'll touch base on that a little bit more. But go Bucks today, go Lightning. Got a couple banger games later to kind of break off the edge and chill out and watch some sports. Go sports. But Captain, do you have a mic, man? Do you want to come up and say what's up? Come on up, man. Come chill with us. Probably going to be a little slow today. I mean, it's I reached out to Coco to see if he wanted to join. I'm not sure if he's busy or not. Hoping next week I've tried to get a few different speakers on, but that everyone's kind of. I know that Flight Force 4 had their spaces today, and so did Victory Point. Planet IX did, I think, as well. But trying to get those Medieval Empires guys. Like, there's a couple really cool games out there that are in the works that we want to talk to, so we'll bring them up. But what's up, Captain? What's going on, bro?
Yo. What's up, guys? How's everybody doing today?
Doing good, man. So, Captain Z, you got to tell us, how did you get that name?
How did I get the name?
The captain. Yeah. How are you the captain?
Oh yeah, disease actually part of my name, so I just like the name Captain because it was pretty fucking cool, and they used to call me that in school sometimes, so I just picked it up, and yeah, Captain Z. The Z is part of my name, so just like.
Let's go, bro. That's sick. I think it's a dope name.
Yeah. It's funny. Like, sorry. Go ahead, Captain.
Yeah.
Are you still? So I was going to ask you, how's everything going with the D gens, the D3 gens, right? Haven't seen them in a while. They're still doing Wednesday spaces, right?
Yeah. He was off for a while, but I think he's back. Yeah. I got into his last space, but I didn't see him post this week, so I don't know. But he was off for a little while, because I don't know, man. He said, I think it was about school. He said he needed to go back to school and all that. But yeah, I think they're back, so that's fucking cool, man. Sorry for
it's good to see them hustling again, bro. I think they did a space yesterday. It was about Yuga Labs, so I figured we could I'll probably touch base with them and see if they want to do another space. I mean, we haven't talked to them in months. Great community. Glad to see that they're back in the grind. Hopefully they, he's coming back around a little. People, it's we made it this far, guys. Like, I was talking to a good friend of mine in the space today, and he's like, Chris, he's like, man, he's like, we've gotten this far. Like, we got it. We're almost there. You know, like this guy's telling me yesterday, or he's telling me today, it's average crypto. He's like, I'm looking at credit cards with 0% interest. He's like, my credit's high enough. So he's basically he's just getting credit cards right now and he's just maxing them out on crypto. I mean, he makes money, but it's just the funniest thing because he's like, I'm ready, man. He's like, I'm gonna max these things out. There's gonna be 0% interest, and we're gonna ride this into the next cycle. I'm like, hey, man, if you can do that, good on you because hopefully good on you. Hopefully, I think we're all getting pretty bullish again. So it's a good feeling versus what we've all been kind of like feeling lately. You know, man. When I say lately, I'm talking like the last year. So. Welcome Enzo to the stage. One of the topics we're going to talk about here is a little bit of Top G stuff. There was a video that came out that was interesting. But go ahead and say what's up, Enzo. We'll talk some market analysis real quick, and then I'll ask a few questions, and we'll call it a day.
Hey man, how's it going? Yeah, I heard some stuff happened with Top G and some crypto. I think it was NFT. God Hates NFTs collection. I think the owner of that collection was making fun of Top G or something like that. Is what I saw. I haven't looked too much into it. Work has been absolutely killing me. So I get home and I sleep and then I wake up. I have like 30 minutes to get ready and go back to work because it's like a 30-minute or a 3-hour commute. It's an hour and a half there and an hour and a half back. So, I mean, and then like the time I'm not on a bus, I'm working or sleeping. So yeah, work is absolutely killing me. So I haven't had time to really catch up on anything that happened, but I kind of saw some.
Well, all you need to do is put the video on at 2 times the speed. You'll get through it in about 5 minutes, 5.5 minutes. But I'll give a little bit of a rundown on what was happening with that in a second. But Walker, if you don't mind, that's what's going on with the Web 2 market, man, and what are you seeing out there?
Yeah, man. A pretty dicey week all the way around. Energy, really led. I think a little over 2% gains, which makes sense. You get into times with a lot of war. You typically see fuel prices spike, especially when those regions, are big producers of oil. Also, going into the holiday season, you typically see a lot of travel going on. The dollar is really kind of starting to make what looks like a local high and really staying within this range. It has the past 2 days set higher highs on the daily time frame. So we'll just kind of have to wait and see there if the dollar wants to continue to break out because as we've discussed, I mean the dollar's just been on an absolute tear since July. And so we're really just trying to find, a top there. And, in the meantime, as, the dollar continues to work at the upper side of that range, the S&P 500 got absolutely obliterated. It has dropped on the daily below the 50 and the 200-day moving average. It's currently setting a lower low. There is a lot of resistance in this zone. And I mean, we've seen a significant pullback. I mean, over the past couple of weeks, we're down almost 9%. So there's been considerable downward price action and really high volume of selling. And then the VIX is our indicator for the volatility across traditional markets, and the VIX is currently. It's currently come back down a little bit, but it's definitely working in this upper trend line. It's headed to the upside. As we're seeing more volatility, but we should start to see that make a move down pretty soon. I would expect. I mean, I don't expect to see equities fall too much further here in like the immediate to short term. We do have a lot of earnings reports that are going to continue to come out, And that's probably going to help, set a lot of the narrative as to, if the market moves up or down, because if you see, majority of these companies come out and report and, they miss earnings, they're lower than expectations, that's going to create, a continued downward pressure on the market, through the next couple months. And also combined with that, you have people from the Federal Reserve this week speaking, and they were saying that really just reiterating what Jerome Powell has been saying, but they believe that interest rates are not or the funds rate is not at a sufficient level, that they fully plan on continuing to hike interest rates. They also said, that doesn't necessarily mean we're going to hike interest rates at the next meeting, but really, just kind of it's a time game, and really understanding or predicting when the Federal Reserve, is gonna move. Like, unless you have insider information, it's really hard to know. But if they continue on the path that they're on, I think that it's fairly likely that we see something, pretty significant break in the economy, and that is probably the catalyst for them to start to cut rates, even introduce quantitative easing back into the system. But then we hop over to the good old Bitcoin, and she's just been absolutely sending it. Oh my God. I mean, Bitcoin hasn't made me feel this way in a long time. And I missed her a lot. So this has been really nice. I mean, she's just ripping through resistance levels. And, it looks like on the daily time frame that we are potentially have made a local top here. But again, we're just going to have to wait and see. But if you look at the candle wicks on the daily, it's really getting eaten up in that same range. But not a lot of selling pressure here. If we go out to the 4-hour, we're still holding all of our meaningful averages well above the 50 and the 200 day. But starting to come back down a little bit, but overall still looks strong. Really, just kind of in this, this bear flag or pennant formation, and we're just kind of waiting to see: do we get a break to the upside or do we get a break to the downside? If you go down to the 1-hour, we are starting to lose some of those averages, such as the 50 day. But the RSI has already bottomed out on the hourly, even if these ranges. So this thing could just be coiling up, getting ready for another move. If we do go up from here, the next important resistance level that I'm looking at is right around that 37K range. And then if we were to come back down and get a retest, anywhere in like 32 to 31.5, I would love to be taking some positions there. But yeah, that's kind of the things that I'm looking for, with Bitcoin, just tracking this wedge, seeing if we get a momentum shift to the downside or the upside. So we'll see shortly.
Sounds good, man. Sounds good. On the side of current news today, SBF went on testify, and that was pretty interesting. The big, I guess, like the TLDR version is that he claimed he didn't know he was doing something illegal by moving money through Alameda because he was a CEO of both companies, or owned both companies, I guess. That was pretty funny to read. But sounds like today was the last day of prosecution on SBF. So really, I think we're going to start to see some interesting news go out this upcoming week on what's going on in that case for FTX. Other than that, I think some Gensler news out there. Obviously he's bearish on everything crypto. Says that he's getting people that are non-compliant with their money. He's obviously targeting big whales and stuff. So that's it's always ongoing in the news side of things. But the other news would be our friend Top G came out with a 10-minute video, basically saying that he's glad that all the crypto people are broke. We all deserve to be broke. NFTs are dead. He could have bought. He was told to buy millions of dollars worth of NFTs. Instead, he just bought a $4.4 million car. He had a little model of it and a picture. But yeah, he's happy. He's very happy that everyone that's in crypto is broke, and that makes him super glad. And it's pretty comical. Huge grifter, but it's the Top G, and it's okay. The show goes on without him. But shout out to Enzo. Learning from him, it's okay. I don't see anything bad. I'm sure you're learning some good stuff.
Okay, so here is the here's the problem with that. He might be
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
bearish on everything that's going on, but if you're inside like his academy and stuff, you'll see that he like has an upcoming like metaverse like getting planned and everything. So I'm not sure how bearish he is. He might just be, doing that for attention and seeking clout. But if you're inside his academy, like you have access to his metaverse whenever it comes out. So I don't know. He might just be a grifter doing it for attention.
Well, his big touch point was that he's never sold an NFT. He's given NFTs away with the purchase of a shirt, I think is what it was. But he's basically saying, he'll never sell an NFT. They're free because he never wants to see his community lose, right? So that was kind of his like caveat. He has an NFT, but he's never going to sell it or sell one, right? That was kind of like the double-edged sword per se. But I can't hate him for that. He's not. It's not like he needs the funding from NFTs to do anything successfully. So, shout out to the approach of not having to make money on the front end, and I'm not even sure if he has royalties on those things. I've never even seen the Top G NFT, but I love.
Well, he's getting his money on the front end in another way, right? Like, he's selling packages and doing other things, and it's a business model. And I think regardless of what he thinks, whether he's bearish or bullish, probably I'm not very bullish on his metaverse or really many metaverse environments for that matter, right? Like I really think that the metaverse is going to be that culmination of these technologies. Unreal Engine 5 being a passive and active entertainment portal where people can have all these experiences. Division Pro, right? Like these types of experience, I think, are going to become the metaverse. But maybe what he doesn't understand yet, and that he'll get to, is, hey, I could represent my packages that I sell to people as an NFT and have a very efficient model, for tracking and rewarding those members. So I think that there's just there's different levels of understanding and application of the technology. And quite frankly, like if I was building a metaverse, I probably wouldn't be that bullish either, because I think the most active metaverse right now is maybe a couple hundred people a day.
Exactly, and I think and we're just seeing a shift of how NFTs have gone in the past, anyways. But I know like a few of these meme coins that are coming out, or even like established meme coins such as like Gensler. Gensler's dropping an NFT collection just by holding Gensler, and I know that Ticker Bitcoin did the same thing, and then also Ticker XRP did that as well. It was like still, I think Ticker XRP was like we still had to buy one. It was cheap, but it was like those things ran up to like a couple ETH for the rare ones. And it's funny, I put a bid on the floor back when those launched. I picked up a purple blip, and I flipped it. The next day, it was worth like 4x higher. I was like, oh my god, that would have been great. I didn't even realize, and neither did the person that sold it to me realize that the purple ones were going to be rare, just below the red ones. But that's just the way it is.
I mean, Chris, based off of your record, you should probably change your name to King G.
King. True. Anyway, shout out GM Tom in the building. What's up, man? Thanks for stopping by. huge Mog supporter down there. Mog, speaking of Mog, those guys, that's uh, every time I watch what's his name, K Money's video where he's faking smoking fake crack. That's one of the funniest videos I've ever seen that he's made. So that's it's so funny to watch. But yeah, really really excited to see. When this whole cycle, or when we just saw this like pump on Bitcoin recently, I noticed that Dogelon went up like 20-30% as well. That was pretty, that's bullish on the sense of what some of these newer meme coins are going to do in this next cycle that make it through. And I think that Mog's probably here to stay. The community behind them is absolutely insane. Same thing with ticker Bitcoin and ticker XRP. Excuse me. There's definitely a bunch of these coins out there, and they're in the millions still. Like a lot of coins are already at zero. These ones are still in the millions, and they're holding strong, community driven. That's really what's keeping everybody afloat right now, is the community holding versus jeeting. And obviously, I'm not part of any of them, so I'm a jeet. I want the 2x, and then I want to jeet.
So, by the way, Chris, another thing regarding Top G, I'm not sure why, but he has a crypto trading, NFT and DeFi campus, and crypto investment campus in his inside of his academy, and like he has amazing professors inside all of them. So I honestly, you left me shocked with the news about the video that came out, because I haven't seen it.
Maybe it's a if you know type of thing.
I just think he's grifter. Yeah, it's just grifting, bro. That's pretty much all it is. But he's also grifting in the sense of like people were telling him to spend millions of dollars on JPEGs, and now he's like, "Oh, you all are broke, and I'm glad you're broke. I'm buying a $4 million car," kind of thing. Like it's a pretty. You'll see it. Just watch the video when you got some time. I'm sure. You'll see what I'm talking about. But let's finalize off with a little bit of news with Metatope. We've been talking in the last couple of weeks. We've had some great conversations with a lot of these upcoming gaming studios. We're very bullish on a few of them, such as like Victory Point, Eden from Xpunks on the XRP side, and we've also spoken to Flight Force 4. And today we had an awesome meeting with a gaming studio that is also doing stuff on Fortnite. So we're definitely we're grinding. That's part of the side of the bear market, is to continue to keep our head in the right direction, and we'll continue to have more meetings with some of these gaming studios to really find what's coming out there, get a really good idea of where they're at, what their time frames are, so that we can provide value to not only our future collection, but the partners that we're building out right now when it comes to digital avatars and assets. And every day, I start to get more and more bullish on what we're doing, because this is the type of stuff that people are kind of that they're wanting. The word utility is out the window at this point. It's as bad as NFTs, but when you actually have when you can just not even having to say the word utility, because it should just be a seamless experience. We're basically going to take avatars and pop them into different use cases. Sounds a lot better than to say, hey, you can take this avatar and go into this game, or you can take it and go into that game, or you can go on Zoom, or you can go into a metaverse. Even though that means utility, it doesn't mean we have to say utility. We don't have to say NFTs if we don't want to. So super excited to see what happens with all these conversations that we're having now. And that's not even including what we're doing on the side of our technology. We're getting super close to having a really flush product on not only the markerless motion capture side of things with our mobile application, which also can be used PC wise, but also when it comes to marketing tools that we're building. We're going to have another product that we're lining up right now. Can't wait. Really excited to announce that product, and that'll help. I think people really will enjoy the interaction that they'll have with their with certain collections that work with us. And all it takes is one, and we put the right ones on there, and then it's kind of like a waterfall where everyone else is gonna be like, wait, how did they do that? How did they do that so quick? All right, I want mine done. And those conversations will arise. So arise, chicken. But really excited, guys. It's been a long time. We've been grinding. We got some IRL events coming up. Looking at Art Basel You got the Ape Fest coming up in Hong Kong. I know a lot of people were very bullish on that previously. However, probably spent all their money on meme coins and stuff. So I know a few people have backed out from Hong Kong, but for those that are going, I'm sure they're going to have an absolute blast. I have a sheet that shows all the side events. There's so much going on out there. Not only Ape like Bored Ape Nuga Labs, but some of these other collections are throwing some events out there in conjunction with it. And I'm sure Hong Kong is going to be absolutely beautiful this time of the year. I'm completely talking out of my butt there because I have no idea what the weather is like in Hong Kong. But you know, yeah. So that's a shout out to anybody going to Ape Fest. But yeah, we're looking at having presence down in Miami. We've talked to a few different people that are running events down there, and super excited for the guys over at OD Labs with Tetra, Buckets, and Michaela, and all them. Those guys have been grinding. We had a meeting with them. They're doing some absolutely stellar stuff as well. So I can't wait to see what they got going on. They even have a storefront up in Canada. It's a super cool collection of like skateboard decks in there. I think it's like the largest collection of a certain deck, but it's all built into the ground. So that was really cool to see. If you haven't seen OD Labs, please check them out on Twitter or X.com. But yeah, guys, this one's gonna be short. I know a lot of us have stuff IRL. Like I said, my family came into town, so I'm gonna hopefully catch them on a jumbotron here. I was on a jumbotron on Tuesday at the Lightning game, so I'm famous now, guys. I made it, Mom. Really had a great time. Taking a break from crypto. When you're in a ice rink, all I'm focused on is staying warm and not getting hit by a flying puck, a wild puck in the stands. That's the worst feeling. I actually got hit in the past. I've gotten hit by a baseball when I was really young. From a foul ball. So I kind of have like PTSD. So I pay attention to the games whenever I'm there. It doesn't matter how high up I am. It's like you just never know when that thing's going to ricochet off somebody or off one of the sticks or off the glass and miss the net. But I think nowadays it doesn't happen as much as it did back in the early 2000s or even the 1990s, and just kind of age myself there. But yeah, guys. If you haven't also seen the Metal Rebels collection, please take a look at the puppies. They have these new, beautiful, game-ready animated assets that you can take in the Blender if you're familiar with Blender. If not, they have a team, and we're always willing to help out anybody who needs to who's looking to do some cool stuff with that kind of thing. But yeah, all you have to do is pick up a Meta Rebels puppy off the floor and on OpenSea, or you can, I've got 3 Meta Rebels. Super excited for David Taylor and everything they're doing. I even have a bunch of Small Bros. He acquired that collection as well. So Small Bros, he had to purchase that collection because I think the founders were kind of, it's when enough is enough, right? And they David Taylor actually fulfilled on their promises to their holders, where if you owned like a certain amount, you got to pick out like your merchandise from their store, and it was absolutely free. And yeah, I received the merch, and it is actually some of the best quality NFT merch, if not like regular shirts. Like the quality of the fabric is fantastic. The stitching on like the hoodie is crazy as well. So I shout out to those guys for coming along, and that goes sometimes unnoticed. When you have to pick up from somebody else and take up from their footsteps, and now you're in your own direction, but there's promises made, and he made the promises come true. So we love those guys over at Meta Rebels, and also the Ape Starline crew. Shout out to Misty. Hope she's feeling well. I know she had some personal stuff she had to handle. So we look forward to definitely announcing some of these really cool things that we have done, as well as what we're doing here coming up. But for now, guys, have a fantastic rest of your week. And we got Tope Talk every Thursday. We're at episode like 71 right now, and we're not stopping. So we're really excited for when these Tope Talks are going to have hundreds and hundreds of more people in here. And we're going to make that happen because the products are going to speak for themselves, and we're going to drive the traction here so that, we're not going to forget about the day ones like Captain Z here. So everyone, thanks for joining. Take your, I'll let Enzo give us a nice little ending, but if anything, if I could say anything, just it's always good to just slow down, take a break, and I think treat people with the same respect that that they deserve as well, and the way you would want to feel. And yeah, we're almost there. We are almost out of this winter and the storm that we've all been enduring for the last year plus. What an absolute tear that put into space. But man, I think we're all really anticipating and excited for the next levels. So Enzo, let's sign off. What's up, bro?
All right, guys. So yesterday early today, I got to listen to daily lesson, and the daily lesson was to not be afraid to make mistakes, especially making mistakes while you're still young or while you're still working with little money. That way, you know what works, you know what doesn't work, and once you start to gain more wealth, bigger amounts of money, you don't make the same mistakes that you made when you had little money. So, for us in the crypto trading, that was starting with a demo account and continuing with a demo account until you've made a certain amount of trades. Once you feel confident, moving on to live account with little money. That way, when you're messing up, you're not messing up and blowing an entire account with all your money in it. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how you learn. Don't be afraid to make mistakes constantly, especially if you're in crypto, if you're trading in any sort of market. Make mistakes, learn from them, but make mistakes while you're risking a little amount of money. Don't make them once you get all your money into accounts. You don't want to blow accounts. That's not how you're going to make it in this market. That's not how you're going to make it in life. Make mistakes while you're young.
Thanks, brother. Everyone have a good night.